Excuse me. Southern Ontario, Canada, December 28th, I think it is. Now, I made a video about this quite some time ago, perhaps a year, even 2 years ago, because, well, we're talking about Bill C21, the gun ban. Now, this isn't part of the new 390-page amendments. This was written right in the original bill and still stands. You can go to the bill, you can Google it, you'll find it in around lines 100. I will put a direct link to that. Not a direct link, I'll have to put it on a piece of paper because I don't know how to do that. I'm low tech. But, anyways, here it is in a nutshell. And again, I made this same video. You can go back in my archives, I don't know, a year or two ago. If someone really dislikes me, for whatever reason, it's in Bill C21, they can go to a provincial judge and make some totally outlandish and untrue claims. For example, they could say, this guy has a house full of weapons. Legal, illegal, every size, shape, and description, and he has said many times, he'll go down shooting, the Charlton Heston. You have to pry them from my cold, dead hands. Now, none of this is even vaguely, remotely true. I own nothing along these lines, but this guy or entity says it to a provincial judge. The court is closed. It's not even open to the public. I'm not informed of it. I have no defense. I'm not made aware of this in any sense. This whack job is accusing me of crazy, crazy lies. And hey, it gets worse. The judge doesn't consult the police, either as to whether that guy's a whack job or I'm the nut bar. All he has is his word. And there's this 30-day clause. I'm not going to go into the details of that until I read it right from the bill for you. But the judge is going to be, a lot of people speculate, and I don't disagree with them, going to be inclined to err to the side of caution. So, jump forward, what happens? A heavily armed, probably SWAT team comes to my door, armed with AR-15s and, full, protective gear and everything. And all they've heard is basically what the lunatic claimed. Myself and everyone in my household, or it might be you or somebody don't say the wrong thing or make the wrong move. Perceived could go very bad, terribly bad, couldn't it? Absolutely, it could. And it gets worse yet. Said lunatic can go to a peace officer and make the same claims. He doesn't even have to go to a judge. And should said peace officer believe him, they don't even need a warrant. So if I'm not home, they can kick in the door. If I'm asleep or passed out, they can kick in the door. They're going to come in the house looking for these alleged accusatory, everything this nut bar has claimed I have, or you have. And it's even weirder and more frightening in a sense. It doesn't bother me personally, but should they find nothing, and let's say, again, I'll put it in the first person, I'm the accused by the accuser lunatic, be it a court or the peace officer, they find nothing, I have nothing, I do get my day in court, although I still don't know and never will know who accused me or even what they said. But now I'm in court and saying to the judge, well, the SWAT team didn't find anything. I didn't even have a crossbow because they're under Bill C21. I don't even have a slingshot. Pluck my guitar strings, I guess, and shoot a pebble or something. I don't know. I got nothing. Well, okay, fine. sorry, the bill's on me to have the door repaired. But at that point, simply because I've been accused, I can never legally get, um, what do you need in Canada? You need an FAC and a PAL, often referred to as a PAL, to legally procure, well, what was legal and now is not going to be anyways, I suppose one might argue, simply because you went through this accusatory process. Now, this is of no concern to me unless I'm going to move to Churchill, Manitoba, where polar bears don't accept that I think I'm on top of the food chain and I'm actually a snack. And if I'm not carrying something adequate to protect myself from said polar bear, I will be a snack. So I'm probably personally not concerned about it anyways. I don't have any livestock to protect. I'm not a sports shooter. I'm not a hunter. And I don't think anybody's going to do a home invasion to steal my not big screen TV. So I just don't possess any of these things. I just don't feel the need for it. But again, this false accusation dictates I could never have one, even if I were to want one. Yes, it's that crazy. Bill C21. Now, how can any of this be interpreted as being any safer for the public? Now, I know I can't make these videos short like you would like them to be and like I would like them to be. But let's go back to the mass shooting in Nova Scotia 2 years ago. That fellow was a denturist, not a dentist. He was a denturist. He had lots of money. And he was trying to procure his weapons to some extent legally. And he found the process too arduous, too time consuming, too annoying, and too expensive. Because it is all of those things here in Canada. This isn't America. It's our vetting process is intense, to say the least. And I have no idea what the cost would be, but you could probably buy about 3 half-decent firearms for what it's going to cost you just to get the paperwork to be able to go legally, heretofore, procure said firearm or arms. So our crazed denturist procured illegal firearms in Maine, USA, state of Maine. Now, this is a fact. This is not my opinion or my take on it. This is a fact. The RCMP did their homework. CSIS is aware of it. I mean, it's a fact. He illegally procured his firearms that he went on his crazed rage with in Maine, USA. So, Bill C21 does nothing to prevent that. And in final summation, I'll say, in Parliament, when the Liberals, the regime of Trudeau, gets rambling about how taking literally every firearm known to man from every Canadian, a little more on that right at the end. But anyways, is going to make the streets safer is ludicrous. And the best they can come up with in the entire course of Canada's history for mass shootings are 3 incidences. 3 in Canada in its recorded history of mass shootings. None of those firearms were legally procured. They kind of fail to mention that, don't they? And in final summation, and I know all these videos of late are really pushing the bounds of censorship. If my channel doesn't get shut down, I'll be surprised. But anyways, Trudeau and them go on about military style assault weapons and guns whose only purpose is to kill as many people in the least amount of time as possible. Well, on the list of banned firearms is a bolt action 22 caliber squirrel plinker. I mean, far and away from, it's on the bottom of lethality in firearms. The next step down from that is a slingshot. It is hardly a weapon of mass destruction. And I think by now pretty well everybody knows about the Sarbu Buttmaster being on the banned list as well. Again, far and away from a weapon of mass destruction. Although it is a concealed carry. Just thought I'd leave you with that little somewhat humorous note. Yeah, Bill C21. It's that crazy.